I realized, like, talking to a lot of people, like, over the course of working in my job, that a lot of people don't know anything about credit. And I'm just gonna do like a little quick rundown to like say what credit is, kind of like to, help out people. Damn, it's getting bright in. So basically, credit it's not real, right? Credit is just to see basically what the name is. Like, do you have a good credit like history? Like, are you good enough to be able to give for me to give you this, right? So if you got a low credit score and you go and you try to get a credit card, you might still get approved, but your credit limit. Damn, let me fix this. Your credit limit gonna be low. It's gonna be like $300, $500 because you don't have no history or you have a bad history, and that's why your credit score is low. If you have a high credit score, you know, if you go for a credit card, your shit gonna be like 2,000, 3,000. It just depends on what credit card you're going for, right? And credit cards are the easiest way to build credit. Credit cards and not really loans. Like a lot of people think like loans only help it temporary. It gives you the credit mix, which is always good. You always want to mix up your credit. So if you got a mortgage and a car payment and credit cards and personal loans, like if all that shit at the end of when all that shit's paid off, your credit's gonna be at the max because they see you have a cold credit mix and you're good at doing what you need to do. But don't even worry about that. If you don't know about credit, you don't even need to worry about that. But the basic thing is to get a credit card. That's the number one thing you can do to start your credit. I mean, you can go and get a car like to start it off, but I mean, you probably gonna get overcharged or whatever the fuck. You gonna get hold. The easiest thing to do is to go start off with a credit card. And the easiest credit card to get into is if you young, probably get a Discover card because they got the student cards. Get any student card, to be honest. I feel like those are all right. And or get a store card like a Best Buy card or some shit like that. But you have to be smart, and I'm gonna explain how to make sure your credit score go up with these credit cards. I'm not don't max this shit out. But all right, now there's this thing called usage, right? I feel like a lot of people don't understand it. So let me kind of break it down. So if you get I'm gonna use 1,000 because it's easier to do the math. If you get $1,000 limit, 100% of your usage is equal to 1,000. So if you use 50%, that's 500. You always want to be below 10%. Now people recommend 30-30 because you know that's just what it is. But I'm telling you, try to stay between 1% and like 5%. Do not pay it off all the way. If you pay it off all the way, it's like you're not even doing anything. The credit bureau gonna look at it like, oh, he don't even use his credit card because you paid the whole thing off. Keep it between 1% and 5% if you can. Shit happens. I feel like people be like, man, if I get a credit card, like if you even a little bit, they just no. Keep it between 1% and 5%. And if shit happens, bro, shit happens. Your credit score is not permanent after 2 months if you fuck up. You gonna come back. Everybody end up coming back eventually. If you don't, then damn, you got hold. But I'm saying most people end up coming back. So if I get $1,000 credit limit, I can spend that $1,000 first day. First day I get the credit card and it's activated. I can go spend $1,000 that day. That is not considered maxing it out. Yes, you can't use no more for the rest of the month until you pay that balance off. But wait till and don't pay the. This should be basic level. Do not just pay the minimum. Because if you pay the minimum, your usage is not gonna be where you want it to be. I can spend 1,000 that first day. First day I get the credit card, I spend 1,000. At the end, right? At the end of the month, say your shit end on the 28th, on the 27th, 26th, around there, pay it down to about 1 to 5%. I don't know. 5% is what, like $5 or $50? I'm tripping. $50. Have that shit like at $36. It's gonna be like damn, and they gonna look on your credit report like, oh, he used his credit card it's in between 1 to 5%. That's great. But if you go, but to the credit or the people you got it from, say you got it from Discover, Discover gonna see, oh, he spends $1,000 a month. We need to up his credit limit. Bam. So now you get a bigger credit limit. Probably not that much. If it's 1,000, probably be like 1,500, maybe 2,000. And now your credit usage goes up, right? Like the how much money you can have. So instead of having $36 on there, you got $64 on there, and that's a free $64 because you ain't got to pay it back, right? I feel like that's what people don't understand. I personally, everybody has different credit goals. My credit goal is to get a super high credit limit, so when I come down, if anything ever happens, I could still have the money to spend, right, on it. Like have that money. Like should be able to have like 2,000 on my credit report, but it's still in between. It's still below 2%. I mean 10%. So that's what a lot of people don't understand, the credit usage, how the percentages work. You can spend all the money you want during the month. I wouldn't recommend doing it if you ain't got it. But if you got it and you spend 5,000, say your credit limit is 10,000, right? Which is, you gotta kind of work for that. But like, say you can spend all that 10,000 at the end of the month on the 26th, 27th. Do you feel shit in on 28th, 26th or 27th? If your shit is below 10%, which is for 10,000 is 1,000. If it's below 1,000, your credit score is gonna go up, or it's gonna stay the same if you've been doing it for too long. Well, you've been doing it for a long time. Now, it kind of gets advanced when you want to do other things. Like, say you want to, and hold on. Let me back it up. You're not gonna go straight to 10,000 in like a year. It's gonna take you like 2 years, 2 or 3 years to get up there. Or if you're not like perfect. If you're perfect, yes, you can get that probably pretty easily actually in like a year or two, in like 2 years. But if you're a normal guy, you probably in like 2 years, you'll probably be at like 6, 7,000. That was not on purpose. 6 or 7,000. So, but always keep in mind the percentages. I recommend, because you're gonna start getting more credit cards, right? Having credit cards is not a bad thing. Getting more credit cards is not a bad thing. I have like 8 credit cards, 8 or 9, and my shit's still a 750. So it's because I know how to work it. You gotta be able to be in control. Write it down. Write when all your statements in, because every credit card don't end on the same statement. I have one that ends on the 21st, on the 27th, on the 3rd, the 6th, the 8th, the 2nd, and then I think I got 2 that double up on the 4th. But I'm saying, like, I know that off the top of my head because I'll be looking at that shit. But a lot of people not looking at that. Write it down. Write it down. Put it in your notes, whatever. Statement balance for the end. And statement balance is not the same as minimum payment due. Don't look at the minimum payment due and be like, oh, it ends on the 3rd. Your statement balance can end on the 8th, and your minimum payment is due on the 3rd. And you get it below 10% on the 3rd, and then you start spending money again on the 6th, but your statement balance hasn't ended, and that's gonna fuck you up. So make sure you look at your statement balance in, not your minimum payment balance, because that can fuck you up. And it fucked me up in the beginning because I thought it was the same, and then I start looking at it, I was like, oh, I'm tripping. But if you want to grow your credit, just start off, get a little credit card, get the student card. If you're not a student, I'll recommend it. How I started mine, I went to a credit union. Credit union is gonna give you probably 500 to 1,000, and it's gonna be, you ain't gonna have no benefits, but it's a starter card. That's the reason for it. You're gonna go to your credit union and say, hey, I want to start my credit up, and they'll be like, all right, credit card. They probably give you 500, 1,000. Now a cheat code really is if you go with Capital One and bank with them for like a year. Like, say you don't apply for a credit card, just bank with them, put your direct deposit. You bank with them for like a year, and then you get a credit card, they gonna throw you like 4,000. Now, if you don't know how to manage that money, then I'll recommend with the starter card. But if you think you can manage that, go ahead, because that'll be easy. And then after, like, if you starting it after like 6 months, 6 to like 8 months actually. You'll probably be able to get in with American Express and cards like that. But all I'm saying is that don't look at credit as a bad thing. Don't look at debt as a bad thing. Cause technically, remember when I was saying earlier how you down if you got 10,000, as long as you below 1,000, you good. Technically, you are, say it's 800. You $800 in debt. You are technically, but it's good debt because it shows that he spends money, but he can keep it under wraps. And good debt, and that's good debt. Bad debt is if you had a 10,000 credit limit and you had 9,000 on your report. That's bad debt. Don't ever do that. But as long as you below that 10%, even 30% is all right. It's like mediocre, right? If you want to be great, you got to go between 1 and 5%. If you want to be very good, it'll be like 5 to 10. And then 30 to 10 is like you doing all right, like you cool. Anything above 50 is like, no, you can't do that. But shit comes up, and I don't want people to be scared to be like, damn, it's gonna fuck up my credit report. As long as you could come, you gonna eventually come back. As I said in the beginning, you gonna come back. So don't be scared to do that. Unless you have bad habits and you don't want to come back, you know yourself, you're not gonna come back. Then shit, don't do it. But I know myself. At one point, I was at like 60% credit usage. Now I'm at like 6%. And the only reason why I'm at 6 is because I got hold. Remember what I was saying? I just learned this not too long ago. I got hold because I thought my the minimum payment was like the statement balance. I got hold. So anyway, that's my little rundown. If y'all want to more in debt, I can show you how to grow your credit score from nothing to 700 plus. But but it takes a little discipline, and I wasn't disciplined at all, and I'm right there. So if you're a really disciplined person, then you can really grow your shit to easily 780, 790 in like 2, 3 years. But all right then, if y'all wanna hear more, shit, let me know.